Hey, welcome back to the channel. Let's check out Lamb of God's Ashes of the Wake tone today using the Mesa Mark 5. Yeah, I'll tell them. I'll make sure I'll let them know. But yeah, I've been a massive Lamb of God fan for years. And Ashes of the Wake tone it seemed to me like it was a lot more aggressive than all the other tones. A lot of the other tones are a lot creamier, a lot more mellow, and a bit more squishy. But the Ashes of the Wake tone had this real barky upper mid range that sort of yeah, it was really aggressive and I couldn't really work it out. I was thinking that they had like I don't know, some sort of post EQ or something that just gave it that real snarly bite in the upper mids there. But as I was as I was researching and looking into it, it turns out it really is just the mic placement. And for this, I've got the SM57 like right on the cap. It's not off the side of the dust cap. It's like right on it. So you get like a real fizz, but at the same time, it really is an amp where you've got to fight with opposites. You know, you wind back the bass at the front end and then you've got the bass right up in the EQ for the sliders and so forth with pretty much the whole amp. You just do the opposite of what you do with the EQ versus the sliders. And referring back to the Philadelphia DVD, which is in 2004, right at the same time as Ashes. So I figured Willie and Mark would have dialed their amps in really similar to what they did recording the album. They've never really used any other stomps apart from just noise gates. And so that's all I'm using here today, just a noise gate in the front end. It's a really honest, straightforward tone. I'm keeping it as simple as I can. I'm not using any EQs or post-processing at all. And even in Logic, I'm not using any compression or anything like that. It's just what you hear out of the amp is what you're getting raw. So it's not going to be exactly like the album, but to me, that's the closest way that it captures the tones. Yeah, referring back to Philadelphia DVD, I was looking at Mark and Willie's settings on their amps there, and Willie's Mark IV that he used. Yeah. So Willie's settings, you can see they're using the Mark IV. I've just referred that back to the Mark V here, and they're very similar, slight differences. No, they are similar. Transpose that over to the Mark V pretty much, and with that I realised that his tone, he's got the trebles right up, but then he's counteracting that by winding the presence right back. So it's got that really bitey attack, but at the same time it's nice and warm and fairly mellow as a tone that hits your ears. So it really came down to the simple tone and putting the mic right in front of the dust cap so that it gets that fizz, but you've got it gets that fizz, but because you've got the presence rolled back so far, you just get that, like just a bit of a snarly bite about it. So for the recording today, I've just panned two guitars left and right, and I'm playing through the right channel for the live recording. All I'm using is the noise gate, and we've got the amp going, and that's it. So this is a really cool section out of Hourglass. I was looking at, now you've got something to die for, and it really is just this. It's a real mathematical sort of finger twisting song to play, but it's this riff I really enjoy. So all I'm using today is the Mark Morton Jackson Dominion, and it's what I recorded both tracks with. It's the Pro model, and it's pretty much his second series, the one that has the unfinished neck on the back and the binding around it. ebony fingerboard. It's beautifully made. It really is a nice guitar with the chambered hollow body. And I've actually got the Duncan SH6 pickups in it. It came with SH1s. I've tried so many different pickups in it over the years, but I haven't tried Mark's DiMarzio's in it though. I'd love to one day. It's beautifully made. It really is. It's flawless, and everything about it is like high quality. It's all mahogany. Even the plastics on the back have like little beveled edges that fit into the crevices nicely. It's just really well done. The whole thing. I love the coil tap switches. Just love the layout, and it's really comfortable to play and hold. Like, it sits nicely on your lap, and where your arm sits, it's in a really like ergonomic position, I should say. And it's just super cool to riff out on this guitar. Really nice. I'd recommend it to anyone. All that being said, the faded line, it's a right hand workout. Like, it really is tough. But great song to the mix, and this riff I love. This next riff, Blood of the Scribe, I think it's the best riff off Ashes of the Wake. It's just really cool. It's got that classic Willie Adler riffing going on. It's super technical. It's really fun to work out. And this is it here. This next riff that captures it really nicely, just the whole feel of the amp and how the dynamics and things play. It's Ashes of the Wake, and it's a monster of a song. That all the riffs just evolve in it, and it's hard and it changes timing. But these are the coolest riffs that I really like off that song there. This last riff on the album, it's not even on the release part of the album, but another nail for your coffin. It should have been added. I think it's one of those songs that doesn't actually, like, it doesn't fit with the other songs on the album, but neither did Thing That Should Not Be on Master of Puppets. So it's a really nice finisher to this album, and it just works really well, and it's a great riff. It's one of my favourites on the whole album, so I think it should have been in there from the start. But anyway, another nail for your coffin. And so there you have it. It really comes down to the Mark IV in this. I've got the Mark V set to Mark IV mode. It's slightly different, but it captures the whole vibe of Lamb of God really well. Pushing the boundaries with these early albums, they were really progressive, and the riffs in the songs, just there was so many riffs just going around, and I don't know how Randy actually managed to fit vocals in with the riffs. Like, it would have been pretty hard, I guess. But all that said, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next week with something else. Cheers, guys. Bye.